Hello there, wonderful people. How you all keeping? Sorry, I'm going to make a video today. It's a bit blowy down here, and I hope you're picking this up because I got the mic on. Finally brought it down. Anyway, we're going to have a little video about wood chips, and I'm going to tell you the things that no one else is telling you about. Wood chips are a fantastic resource, and if you can get your hands on them, then do it. A lot of tree surgeons will drop them off for free because they have to pay to get rid of them. But there's one thing that you all need to be aware of. And it's not a big thing, and it involves these. Now, some of you may not know this, but although wood chips are like an organic, natural source of great fertilizer for the garden, great for mulching and great for weed suppressing, there's a little hazard about them that not many people talk about. I don't want to say no one's talking about it, because I suppose there will be a few people out there in their videos that I've missed that do talk about this. But when you're dealing with wood chips, please, please, please wear a mask, wear a scarf, and at least try and cover your face, your mouth and your nose. Because although wood chips are amazing, like all organic things, when they break down, they have mold spores in them. And these can actually give you a type of bacterial pneumonia. I kid you not. In the past, when I've used wood chips, I've had a cough, and I've always said to people, like, be careful, you know, don't let your kids handle with wood chips. If you look back at my old videos, I talk about stuff like that. But what you have to remember is that sometimes when we're in the heat of the moment and we want to get jobs done, we let health and safety slip slightly. And we shouldn't. We're stupid, but we all do it. And anyway, the other week I was down here and I was dealing with wood chips, and it was a bit windy like it was today, and I thought I'll be fine. I'm just going to grab a few bags. I didn't have a mask with me, didn't have a scarf. Anyway, the following few days I was basically coughing up green. It was horrible, waking up in the morning and it was like I had a chest infection. Thankfully that passed and I'm fine now. But then it made me, because I'm a bit of a geek, I went online and started Googling it, and then I soon found out that this is actually a lot more serious than anyone tells you. And people have actually died from spreading mulch because they've contracted a type of bacterial pneumonia, led to a severe chest infection, basically lungs have packed in, and then they're brown bread. Now, we don't want this to happen. So, as I've said, when dealing with wood chips, when you're loading them up and when you're spreading them, wear a mask. Please wear a mask. As I've said, please don't be too alarmed. Wood chips are an amazing resource. They really are. Drop my gloves. As I've said, please don't be too alarmed about wood chips. It's just something that you have to consider. I always wear gloves when gardening anyway these days, especially using compost and stuff, because you never know what's in it. And the same with wood chips, you never know what's in it. And I protect my hands. So why wouldn't I protect my lungs? It's just so, and I'm as bad as everyone else. Like I said, I forget my mask and I still do stuff and then I regret it because I cough. But really and truthfully, if we engage our brains, apply some logic, when we're dealing with wood chips, we should really be using a mask pretty much all the time. It's the same with composts as well. A lot of compost, even bagged compost, is one of the worst for things like Legionnaires disease, because the bacteria can basically fester inside the bag, and then you crack it open and you get a big whiff of it and you could end up being brown bread. It's rare, but it's possible. And if you're a bit geeky and a bit sciencey like me, you'll end up diving down the YouTube well and then diving into scientific research papers and then finding out even more about it. And I actually read a story online of a guy who spent the afternoon shoveling bark. This was in America, shoveling bark around his homestead, and then he developed a cough over the next few days. He went to the doctors a week later, and within 3 weeks he was dead because basically his lungs packed in because of bacterial pneumonia. And I thought to myself, I don't want that to be me. I really don't want that to be me. And as someone who does actually suffer now and again from quite bad chest infections, I thought I should really take this a lot more seriously. And as always with my channel, if I take things seriously, I start to tell you about them. So yeah, so before we get going today, we're going to get the mask on. And this wasn't expensive. I mean, everyone knows from the pandemic, masks now, you get them everywhere. But this was from Wix's DIY shop. It's rated for fine dust particles. It's got a charcoal filter in there. It was less than £3, £2.70. £2.70, and this was down as a reusable one. So I'm going to try and keep it clean, put it back in a plastic bag or a cardboard sleeve, and use it, you know, hopefully for the rest of the year. So I don't intend to have too much more wood chip down the plot now, but I'm hoping that this mask will basically sort out this whole big pile, and then obviously distributing it down the plot and spreading it out and so on and so forth. So without further ado, I'll get cracking and I'll show you what I mean. You probably can't pick this up now I've got the mask on, but do you see the dust coming off it, which is actually steam as it's decomposing, and that steam is full mold spores, fungus spores and everything else, and that's the stuff you don't really want to breathe in. This is actually a lot better than it was. Obviously when it's fresh and the compost process is really taking hold, you obviously get a lot more heat and therefore a lot more spores. But even in this state, it's still there. Try and zoom in a bit. Probably not picking it up very well on the camera, but you can actually see the little particles dancing around in the breeze. And without the mask on, you'd be breathing every single one of those in. See there, mold spores? Look at them, loads of them. Look at them, look at that. That's not heat, that's mold spores. That's why you wear a mask. Wearing a mask isn't exactly nice. It makes you incredibly hot and sweaty. But I tell you what, I had a coughed once, and the last time I did it without a mask on, I was coughing when I did it, I was coughing when I left, and I was coughing for a damn few days later as well. So as I said, as I wiped that sweat off my nose, as I've said, we wear gloves to look after our fingers, wear one of these to look after your lungs. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe, and as always, take care. Speak soon.